had something and then I lost it.
Lost ego?
Lost ego?
Lost ego.
Lost ego?
Lost ego.
Lost ego.
First thing I think of when I hear lost ego, I think of a
To be full of yourself.
Selflessness?
First of all, that implies that someone started out with like a larger ego.
Somebody that's gone off the beaten path.
Think of like loss of confidence, I guess.
Yeah.
Like major enough to label it as losing your ego. You have to start off with a pretty big one.
Maybe had good intentions.
But you kind of shell yourself out.
I feel like when you lose your ego, you're just more open to any new ideas, flavors that come your way.
The first thing that comes to mind when I think lost ego.
Letting go of your ego, probably.
So I suppose if you lose your ego, you lose a lot of things, but you gain probably more emotionally and spiritually.
You know, somebody that did have too much of an ego and they got rid of that, and you know, that in my opinion is a good thing. You know, you don't want to have an ego going into anything.
You're thinking of like in a positive manner.
And probably one of those things that you would gain is a sense of gratitude or thankfulness.
You don't have one particular frame of mind anymore.
That to me means you're losing yourself to something greater.
Something that's been a part of you for a long time, but wasn't necessarily a beneficial part of you.
You get lost in your ego, and that can potentially be your bad thing.
Is letting go of
Like letting go of the things that you have built up to make yourself feel important.
voice in your head that's trying to tell you what to do all the time. Or it's part of the narrative inside your head.
Yeah, because initially I thought of, being stripped of your confidence.
The ego is easing God out.
But if you kind of reflect on, what makes you confident instead of having an ego to kind of force the confidence.
Easing God out. And what's left is your ego.
You've lost your ego. I guess you've just let it all go.
And kind of making it more of like an outward focus.
It's a great way to move away from the sight of what a brand is
So kind of humbling yourself,
and what a label is,
opening up to things you weren't before.
and just think about what the coffee itself can be. Losing the perception of what it is and just accepting that the coffee is what it is.
If you lose that ego, strip yourself of the ego and not just the confidence, you can maybe kind of see the truth behind what you can be confident about, I guess.
And caring more about, other people instead of just focusing on yourself.
So if you give somebody a cup of lost ego coffee, or expressing your gratitude towards them.
That's what I think of when I hear lost ego.